President Trump offering his most direct explanation yet about why he is refusing Democrats' demands for billions of dollars for the Postal Service and mail-in voting.
Now, they need that money in order to have the post office work so it can take all of these millions and millions of ballots. If they don't get those two items, that means you can't have universal mail-in voting because they're not equipped to have it.
But in a twist, late tonight, the president said he would not veto coronavirus legislation that includes funding for the post office.
Are you threatening to veto any legislation that includes funding for the post office?
No.
Let's sign something that does include funding.
A separate thing, I would do it.
Hey, what's good, folks? Okay, so Hank Life 2020, and we are on. Let me give you a date real quick. So it's 11:57, August 13th, 2020, and so 90. Over 90 kids have died over the COVID in these last few months on the return of going to school. And this is just me getting back to y'all that. So my daughter's mom calls me and says, hey, they're going to return here in Maryland on August 31st, 2020. And I'm totally worried. My daughter's an asthmatic. So, which means that she would... she would probably die. And being that I'm a father, I would kiss her in the mouth, and I would go to the hospital with her, and we would both be playing Russian roulette with life. Alright, so for everybody who doesn't care about that, please go ahead. Go and die. That's what you want, because that's what you're playing with. Life, death, right? Maybe survive, and if you want to play that, you know, let's put that one bullet in the chamber of the revolver, spin it, and see if we'll survive it, right? So that's how serious it is to me. It should be serious to you. Your child safety is basically in your hands. They're a child. They don't understand. They can't even comprehend. What you knew at 20, you didn't know at 15. What you knew at 15, you didn't know at 10. Alright, let's be intelligent, let's be smart, and I hate how it feels like it's constantly a battle and a war between politics and life. And that is the dumbest choice to sit there and make when you can make the choice yourself. Alright, luckily I live in an area where I don't see many people arguing or fussing about wearing a mask at my job, which has been consistent and essential. I couldn't stop working. I work at a pawn shop, alright? I work in Riverdale, Maryland. That is a community that has a police department right across the street from me, highway, so constant moving and people in and out. And for me to hear that people are okay with putting their lives on the line with not wearing masks, I mean, you know, asymptomatic. Understand that. Asymptomatic to me is like the person who could get away with murder. So if you heard of the story a while back where there was a doctor who found out that she had COVID and felt that she had given it to somebody and they died, she killed herself. There was also a nurse who went through the same situation and who felt like she killed herself also. And if you see me emotional at times, it's because, you know, when I was 20, I did crazy things. And crying was not something, but somebody told me, you know, men, real men can cry. You know, you go to war, you lose a friend, you gotta cry, let it out. Don't hold that stuff in. It is the worst. So me not holding this in is part of feeling like I'm going through some kind of occupation of the pandemic and the coronavirus and COVID-19. And COVID-19 and corona being the same thing. So please folks, you know, Hank Life 2020, has been here for a while. You can see I'm wearing my Hank Life 2018. You know, and there was Hank Life 2017 and 16, and we would love to be here to talk to you and show you my life and what I go through. Even beyond this, hopefully I can be old enough to be senile and you know, and scream craziness out, because people have always known me to be that way. But in all reality, I am worried, you know, totally worried. I'm over here watching, you know, and the argument between, you know, we live in a libertarian world, right? They don't like to use freedom here in the United States. I don't know why. Like William Wallace having problems, and you know, I feel like sometimes we're in that position. But in all reality, I love all of you. All of you. I don't need to know you. I've met angels who helped me in my life who had nothing to do with my family or being friends. I didn't even know them, and they came and picked me up and got me rolling with the ball. So 90 kids and going back to school. So luckily my co-worker cleared my mind with that and let me know that excuse me, that it's not about my kids going back to school, because in PG County the schools are closed till next semester. So thank God, because I was thinking, you know, my question to any of those people is, if you know how I am about my kids and how I would jump in the front of a bullet or a car or anything to push them out the way to save them and they could take my life. If something happens to my child, who am I killing? Because you can go and deal with her mother and her nicer personality, but on my part and how I am about helping and saving, I've saved lives and I've lost lives in front of me, and it is the worst feeling. I mean, I pushed away people because I felt like I could not help, and God bless all of you. You know, going through this is something else, and it's sad, you know, that, think about this, that during 9/11, when those 3,000-4,000 people died, they became heroes. In other countries, they would be martyrs, but because this wasn't an attack, in which I'm taking it as an attack, because for me, you know, after the final, what happens at the end is the most important. And if you're saying that death is the end, I would rather go in peace, and quiet and old, than dying from murder or poison or a pandemic or, you know, just, you know, plane crash or something. So, folks, you know, however God sends it to you, that is a tough situation, you know. I sell firearms at my job. I give out money for people who are broke. I tend to think that the pawn shop is like the pulse, the finger on the pulse of the economy. Like, we can feel recession and depression, and when things get really tough, yeah, all that about stealing and all that, yeah, that happens, but not as much as people, you know, hurting with money and not having money. And we're here for that. We're here to help you in that. So, Hank Life 2020, you know, be safe, take care of your family, take care of your kids. They only have you. You are their protector, all right? As my friend said when he went to fight in Vietnam, he said, you know, I love my country, but in reality, the people who start these wars, they're not fighting on the front line. We young men are. So I was there for my friend who went. Him and I went into boot camp, is what he told me, together, and then he was thinking that he was going to be in the same platoon as him, and you know, they separated him. He went somewhere else, he went somewhere else, and that happens. But he said, I wasn't there just for America. In reality, I was really there for the guy next to me, because while we're getting shot, you That's who's there. So God bless you. I love you guys, and y'all be safe. Okay? All right. Kill it.